cherish all the time you spend, you tuned into. It's time again to cherish all the time you spend, you tuned into. It's the number one podcast. The topics of discussion when we broadcast. So all them artificial man jokes, we do it natural from the concrete to a public standpoint. Real, wherever you're from, life is coexisting, but to know the real, you just gotta listen. Wherever you're from, life is coexisting, but to know.
What's up, good people, and welcome to the 52 Scott Podcast. I'm your host, EP91, along with Freddie G, K Money, and Slash. Collectively, we are the Mind of Men. I want everybody that's on YouTube to go out and subscribe and click the like button. Follow us on X at 52 Scott Podcast and on IG and Facebook at the 52 Scott Podcast. What's up, good people, and welcome to another edition of Think Thursday. Today's topic: unhealthy things people tend to do repetitively. Before we start, we have a special guest in the building. She's about 3 years old. So if y'all start hearing things in the background, potato chips, gaga goo goo, and all the other stuff, it's our special guest. So just sit back and enjoy this show. This show was actually a spinoff of a show I did last year, Bad Habits. I know you guys remember that one.
Yeah.
You remember? Yeah, Bad Habits is basically things that people do, picking their nose, digging in your butt, stuff like that. Bad habits. Well, Binkst, that's 52 Scott Podcast, new word, Binkst, being that. They need to put it in the big dictionary. They hadn't did it yet. So Binkst, this is 2025. I thought I'd go over that topic a little bit more broader this time, but this time not with habits that we have, physical habits. Going into the new year, we want to start off with a new leaf, saying the right things, doing the right things. So I want to talk about things that we actually say over and over, and in our mind, and in some people's mind, they think it's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. But I'm going to go over a list here from Quora, Quora, and it's basically there are 20 bad extreme habits that you should eliminate. Now, we're going to go over this list, and we're going to talk about it, fellas. So the first one here is saying yes or no to everything you being asked. Anybody asks you to do anything, take me to the store, you say yes. You say yes. Let me borrow $1, $20. You say yes. You don't know how to say no, or you don't know how to say yes, by either which one. And you're constantly always telling people no, or constantly always telling people yes. That's a bad habit that's saying it's one of the lower ones. I could see somebody saying yes too much. I could see. No, I think it's okay, but yes, I can see that.
So why can you see no being all right and yes not?
Well, no, sometimes you got to say no. Sometimes you got to say no. You can't.
Yeah, but I'm saying, what if this person is saying no all the time? The opposite of what you.
I think that if you're a person that says no all the time, the yes could be bad, because yes, you're more apt to be taken advantage of.
Right.
Versus no, you can't be taken advantage of because you refuse to budge off of your stance.
Exactly.
So if you're a person, if you are a yes person, and you're always saying yes, kind of like, I don't know if you guys remember the movie by Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think he called Yes Man.
Yes Man.
And he was always saying yes.
Yes.
So if you're saying yes all the time, then if you run across the wrong person with bad intent or intent to get over, then you could be actually messed over by saying yes all the time versus a person who's saying no.
Exactly. You guys know when I was when they had the storm, I went to one of the hotels when we had to do a podcast. This was last year. I think it was July. But I had to go after the storm. I was in one of the hotels. One of the guys didn't have a car, so I said yes the first time. And boy, everybody in the hotel wanted to decide to ask me. after I said this. So that's why I say sometimes you just got to say no. And I just had to cut everybody off all in the same circle. Just cut them all off at the same time because it was like they were taking advantage.
Now here's another thing, too, with that. Mm-hmm. You could actually find out a lot about a person if you are a person that always says yes to a particular individual. Mm-hmm. And then if you say no for the first time to that individual,
right,
and that individual has a negative response to your no response, you can learn a lot about that individual because they don't think about all of the times you said yes to them.
Yeah.
But they got this one no from you and all hell done broke loose.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. You do find out about people when you tell them no. Surrounding yourselves with negative people.
Oh, that's horrible.
I stopped doing that years ago. Sometimes, you keep people around because I've been knowing them for years, man. But you know he ain't or she ain't about nothing. But you always take in consideration how long you've been knowing somebody. But really, it was, they have that old saying, you should, you meet people for a reason or some for a season.
Right.
We keep those seasoned people around and they should be gone. And I did have a habit of doing that probably about 15 years ago, but not anymore.
Now, in all fairness to people with a negative thought pattern.
Yeah.
Sometimes people with negative thought patterns, they don't know that they have a pessimistic point of view of things.
Oh, yeah, those.
But you're able to recognize that they have a pessimistic point of view.
Right.
But they're unconscious to their pessimistic point of view and that they're always pessimistic on something, right? Mm-hmm. So if you can see some good in them, in my opinion, then you have to figure out a way, in my opinion, to kind of reshape the way that they're thinking. And so you can plant little seeds to reshape the way that they're thinking, because overall, you see that this person is really not a bad person. It's just that they just got a pessimistic point of view. They're always negative.
Always, yep.
And so you can kind of help reshape that by planting certain seeds, and they don't even know. And I say that because I actually do that a lot in my life. I do that to people.
Let me ask you a question, Freddie G. So you say a lot of times these people may not be aware that they're like this.
Yeah.
So in your experience on planting those seeds, have you gotten positive results, and have you also gotten the same results?
Yes and yes. So let me make it make sense. So yes, in planting those seeds, I've gotten positive results, and those people that I've gotten positive results from, they don't even know that they've kind of made the change.
Right.
They have no clue that they've made the change. And for the people that I've gotten negative results from, meaning that the change hasn't been there, I know them overall as a pretty decent person, although that there's some negative stuff there. But overall, and so I'm more patient. And then I just figure out a different way to plant the same seed. Because I look at, maybe the way that I initially planted the seed wasn't effective.
Right.
Let me try a different way to plant that seed.
Yeah, I like that.
I never thought that they wouldn't be aware of being, negative all the time or saying some, Debbie Downers. I just feel like they have to know that, shit that they say is always negative. But
you know what? After the show, I'm going to share with you a mutual person.
Gotcha.
And you know what's so crazy? The next one is being pessimistic about everything. It's on my list. It's actually the next one. That's a pretty good one. That's good. I guess it kind of tied into what we were talking about. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, you got a point. People, and I actually, the one after that is remaining limited in your beliefs, which is, say they're Muslim and they don't, that's it. This is right. And you ain't listening to no Baptist, no cat. You not listening. Your belief is what it is. Mm-hmm. You believe that you supposed to make cornbread with water and not milk. I don't care what you say. It's supposed to be water. You can, but you know what I mean. Not saying it's right, but you can. So that is a good one to talk about. But that limiting your beliefs, a lot of people should have a broader and open your mind, because you don't know the education you're missing out on.
Are you saying limiting your beliefs or living?
They just limit it to what they believe in. It. They don't believe in nothing else but what they believe in, and nothing else.
Well, using religion as an example, I think that's probably. Let me put it to you this way: religion and politics. It's hard to get people to waver from those two things.
It is.
And especially if you're dealing with religion and people's salvation. So people are unwilling to compromise when it comes to their salvation.
They're not.
And so that's just like a Muslim, and nothing against Muslims, or someone else coming to you, if you are a Christian, to tell you that the way to the Heavenly Father is not through Jesus Christ.
Right. It's through Yahweh.
And they tell you it's through something else. Well, you would be, I would think, well, let me put it to you. Let me put it on me.
I know I would be good.
I would be.
Yeah, me too.
No, it's through Jesus Christ. And you ain't finna move me from this.
Exactly.
You ain't finna move me from this. So it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to use that.
Sway.
Yeah.
It is.
On when it comes to religious belief,
religion and politics, just like he just said. Yeah.
Well, there definitely can be more open-minded in a political field, but like you said, Freddie, religion-wise, you're asking a handful.
Yep. Here's a good one. And God rest his soul, it's my oldest brother that I had this problem with. My second to the oldest brother is starting to have this problem, but nowhere near as bad as my oldest brother.
Your second to the oldest brother, is he a podcast listener?
Yes, he is. Whatever. but he's not as bad. I'm saying he's not as bad. He's not as bad. And then he's more open-minded. But my oldest brother was just really bad at this. Living in the past. And all bad stories, not the good stories from the past, just all the bad things that people have done in the past to him.
That's trauma.
I know.
That's trauma, and so when people are like that, then that's more of a mental, and it's a little deeper than what we're actually discussing. That's actually
trauma.
That's trauma. That's where, okay, we need doctors. We need to get you some
therapy,
help.
Some
therapy.
I agree with that.
You know what? I agree.
Yeah, that's trauma.
I'm not going to even disagree on that one. Here's another one. Always making excuses. Just making excuses.
I know somebody that do that.
I was about to say, I think every Sunday I deal with a person that does that.
I want to, no. I'm going to tell you who you're dealing with.
Hit dog or holler.
Here's the one, and this one, I'm going to give y'all heads up, pranksters. All you pranksters is out here in Houston. I'm going to give you a heads up, and you heard it here first. Always impulsively jumping to conclusions. Don't play with me. Walk up to me talking about throwing up gang signs, because you know they had those pranks that they go up there. I'm automatically assume you're a gangbanger immediately. I'm going to the trunk immediately. We got it on video. So you started it. If I'm in the grocery store shopping and you playing, yeah, I ain't gonna be able to do it. So now, any of y'all have problems jumping to conclusions? Sometimes I used to. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not as bad.
You say jumping to conclusions?
I think that if you're gonna jump to a conclusion, right? A lot of times it depends. If you're jumping to a conclusion, it depends on what you're hearing or what you're seeing. So, for a person, in my opinion, that jumped to a conclusion, that tells me that they have a one-track mind.
True.
Because, let me give you an example when I say what you're hearing and what you're seeing. Let's say you're out and you see your lady giving somebody at the gas station a hug.
Somebody of the opposite sex.
Yeah.
Somebody of the opposite sex a hug.
Yeah.
And you passing by. Now, there are a lot of men that would jump to conclusion. They won't consider that they could be her cousin that she hadn't seen in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're not taking that in consideration.
Yeah, you're not taking that in consideration. Or that could be a long lost high school friend that they hadn't seen in years.
Right.
Just friendly, that's my high school. Hey, girl, whatever, you know. Mm-hmm. We're not taking that in consideration. We're jumping to conclusion. Who you with?
Especially if they don't mention it, we go jump to
Yeah.
Who was that at the gas station?
Well, I'm not even talking about if they don't mention it because because in that instance, K-Money, you're waiting for them to get home to talk about it.
Right.
I'm talking about somebody that's jumping to conclusion right on the spot, pull up right there on you.
Oh,
who the hell is this?
Yeah, who is he?
Yeah. So that's jumping to conclusions. Or you have people who jump to conclusions when someone is talking. Mm-hmm. That's on a visual standpoint that I mentioned. I said vision, seeing, and listening. When someone is talking, and before they can even finish their sentence, they'll finish the sentence for them, thinking that they're about to go a certain way with what they're saying, but they're actually not. No, that's not what I'm talking about. You jump to conclusion thinking I was about to say that. Mm-hmm. I'm actually about to say this.
Right.
So you jump in and finish the sentence.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like for an example, if I say the sky is, if I say the sky is, and
blue.
then you jump in and say blue, and then I can say
cloudy.
I wasn't gonna say blue. I was gonna say cloudy. See, that's people jumping to conclusions thinking you're gonna say something when they didn't allow you to finish what you were articulating.
Right. You didn't have a chance.
Man, I'm quick to say things may not always appear as they seem, because two folks that are quick to jump to conclusions.
Yep.
And those that jump to conclusions are the people that try to finish your sentence while you finishing your sentence. That's a bad habit that people do.
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people do it.
Not a lot of people, but there are some people that do it so much. You could be talking to somebody, and they know where you're going with it, but then their mouth is moving to the same words that you're saying. That's a form of jumping to conclusions because you're not giving me a chance to make my statement. You're trying to make my statement for me.
That's so funny you talking about that. I was watching a shout out to Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and the dude was interviewing some girls, trying to date them. He said, "Yeah, I feel our connection. I can see we're sitting here and we're finishing. You're finishing my." She said sentences. He said, "No, I was going to say statement, but that's okay. That's okay, baby. It's okay."
Now, in all fairness to people who do that, I think that they're unconscious to it. I don't think that they really mean.
That's what I say. These are more unconscious things that you do.
Right.
You're not.
That's habit forming.
It's habit forming. These are habit forming, and it's unconscious. Most of these.
Well, no, I was gonna say, what about people that repeat what you say? You think that's unconscious?
I do that.
Yeah, because
I do it sometimes.
It's unconscious because sometimes you want to remember.
Well, it sounds like an echo. You talking and you like I'm talking to you and you repeat like the last thing that I say, and it's come off like an echo.
The only time I've done that, but the only time I do it if you say something interesting and I'm trying to stick it in my head and make it stay.
Okay.
That I'll do that if I want it to stay, so I'll repeat it.
So you have to stick it in your head.
Now I will say this. I
don't really have to stick it in.
There are times when I'm intentionally repeating what someone says. Case in point, if my wife and I are talking and she's saying something to me, to let her know
that I understand
what she's saying, I repeat it to her.
Now you see, I just finished this. That was unconscionable.
Unconsciousness.
Yeah. But I do that, and that's why I was saying when you said it,
I think we all do it.
But it's unconscious.
Yeah, but everybody does it. You just don't realize.
But that's a bad habit, though, too.
Yeah.
And sometimes it doesn't look so well.
It's a bad habit if you're reacting off of it and you're wrong.
Right.
To the assumption that you were making.
And part of it, I think you're right. I think that everybody does it. It's just that there are some who do it way more often than others. And then there's some, and again, like I just mentioned, when I'm doing it, a lot of times I'm actually intentional when I do it to let the person know
that I heard
you.
I understand.
I understand.
But some people don't get why you do that. I've been in a situation where I've had somebody say, "You repeat everything I say." You're not understanding that I'm doing that to let you know that I understand what you're saying and I'm here with you.
Exactly.
You know, it's a mutual deal here that people don't see, but that's the more intelligent person thought. So some people that's not as intelligent won't know that that's what you're doing.
Exactly. This one here, I'm about to hurt somebody hard on this one. It's going back to my family again. Always need to be in control of a situation. Yeah. Or of a.
Now, I'll say this. Mm-hmm. In some cases, I think that you need to be careful. You need to know when you need to be in control.
Right.
And when, this is where I don't need to be in control. Let me step back. Mm-hmm. Because I will tell you that my personality and I don't mean it in a controlling or, for lack of better words, barbaric controlling kind of way. There are some situations to where it's like, okay, I think that I may be better suited for this, and so let me step up and be the lead here. And then, but I'm also conscious enough to know that, okay, let me take a back seat here because this person may be better suited here. Mm-hmm. So I think that real leaders, in my opinion, understand that, okay, there are times when they need to take control.
I agree with you, Freddie G. And I think those that do not understand or can take that seat back, that's a narcissistic trait. You know, and we have a lot of those people out there.
Of course.
Yeah, and then this last one here is always got to be right. You always got to know, no matter what, if the sky's blue, you say it's pink, and you think you're right because you said it was pink. You just always got to be right.
Now, in my opinion, those are individuals that don't want to grow.
Right.
They have a closed mind, and they don't want to grow. They don't want to learn.
Yeah, they'll forever be stuck right there where they are.
Yeah,
that's not being open-minded at all.
Exactly. And you know what we do with those people, those type of people?
We kick them off the bus.
How you know? You must have saw the bus coming. You must have saw it coming.
It's that intelligence kicked in.
Or could it be that we kick them off the bus every week?
At this time.
Well, today, fellas, we're kicking off Jamie Rencher. I don't know if y'all remember this guy. Jamie Rencher is the guy recently here, was it in the last few weeks, those Amber Alerts. I think you had, Slash, you had a show about the Amber Alert. Slash or K-Money? I
don't remember.
About the Amber Alerts, all the ones that were coming off. But Jamie Rencher, according to KHOU, Channel 11 News, CBS News, according to the arrest warrant, Jamie Ray Rencher, 47, told a girl that he was going to the store with her at a friend's house in San Antonio before deciding what he wanted to do next. So basically, this man raped a Conroe teen and then kidnapped her and drove her all the way to San Antonio.
Wow.
So yeah, two things. Jamie Rencher, you are getting kicked out, and you're probably going to hear this phrase a lot while you're locked up. Put your shoes on. Freddie G, go on, put your shoes on. Go on, put your shoes on. And with that, with habits, be careful of your thoughts before your thoughts become your words. Be careful of your words before your words become your actions. Be careful of your actions before your actions become your habits. This concludes our show for today, and if you haven't done so already, Follow us on X at 52 Scott Podcast. Also, IG and Facebook at the 52 Scott Podcast. Also, like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for Black Friday.